Hi everyone. As you guys know, we just finished reading Fudge-a-Mania by Judy Blume. I hope that you guys enjoyed my reading. This is definitely a different experience for me. Trying to talk to a camera and read to myself and see if I'm even entertaining myself to entertain you guys. I mean, this can just be something that you guys are playing in the background while you guys are working on a different activity, or something that you guys are actually really engaging in. And with that being said, I came up with a few discussion questions that I'll be answering here, and if they were discussion questions that you guys want to respond to or answer to, you can send them to Miss Connie and she can forward them to me so that I can see what your guys' responses were, or to see if you guys are actually interested in the story that I read. And if you guys have any suggestions for books that I can read to you guys, that would be great as well. So, I think that I only have 4 discussion questions for the whole entire book, just kind of general, nothing too specific. The first is, what is the longest road trip you've ever taken? So for me, I think the longest road trip I've ever taken was probably like an 8 to 10 hour road trip up north to like the San Francisco area. And I've actually gone to Sacramento too. This was when I was younger, probably your guys' age. I had gone to state championships for a free throw shooting contest, and those that know me probably are like, what, Miss Crystal was in a free throw shooting contest? But yeah, so my family and we drove up to Sacramento when I think that I was in 4th grade. I think I was in 4th grade. We drove up to Sacramento so that I can compete in a state champion free throw shooting contest, which when we got up there, I think that we just checked into our hotel, dropped off our stuff, and then I went straight to the competition, and I got like 14th place. So we had to make the most of that trip. I think it was just a weekend long trip. But it's nice, road trips are fun sometimes. My sister, I have an older sister who lives in Houston, Texas. And there's times where she'll drive over here, her and her husband will drive over here, and then we'll drive back. And that's like a 21 to 24 hour road trip from Houston, Texas to Southern California. It's a long drive. I don't think that I can do that. I don't think that I can stay in a car for that long. But yeah, what was your longest road trip and where did you go and what was it for? Next is, how would you feel if you had to vacation with someone you didn't get along with? For me, I think that I personally haven't had to do that. There's not a lot of people that I don't get along with, but there could be people that I could be irritated with. Maybe like when I was younger, when my sister and I didn't get along, that could have been a time, but I would definitely try to make the most of it. It is a vacation. It is a time where you should be having fun, relaxing and spending time with your family. So I would do my best to make the most out of it. This could even give you an opportunity to learn more about the person that you didn't quite get along with, and truly figure out why you're not, getting along with that person. For instance, like Peter and Sheila, they didn't really get along. Peter was like appalled when he found out that they would be vacationing with the Tubmans. And the same thing with Sheila. She was like so disgusted by the Hatcher family. But towards the end of the book, although they didn't get along throughout the book and they weren't 100% with each other, they had a mutual agreement that, that they were friendly with each other, you know? So, you know, try to make the most of it. So, what would you guys do if you had to vacation with somebody that you didn't get along with? Or if you have, what was your experience with that? Let's see. The next one is, what would you do if you met your most idolized athlete, and who is that to you? So for me, I think that I would cry maybe. um, Unfortunately, the individual who I'd want to meet is no longer here on this earth, and that's Kobe Bryant. I think that I would cry if I ever met him. Um, but yeah, he would be the number one person that I would have wanted to meet. I don't think that you can ever put into words how you would react if you saw somebody famous or an athlete that you idolized. I probably would be like Peter and be super awkward and do all the wrong things in front of that individual and just look like a fool. But that happens to the best of us. There's no way that you know how you would react or how you would, you know, how you would be in front of somebody that you idolized. So I want to know, what would you guys do? Or who is that person to you? I'm starting to be a Dodger. I'm a Dodger fan, and so another one would be like Cody Bellinger, or some of you might love Mike Trout. So what would you guys do if you ever ran into any of these individuals? Let's see. Was there ever a time where you were excited for something but it didn't turn out the way that you expected? So kind of like Peter. So he was super excited for this vacation, especially since he had the opportunity to invite his best friend Jimmy. So I want to know if there's ever been a time where you were super excited for something and it kind of all went downhill. Your expectations didn't turn into reality. And I know this happens a lot. This happens to me a lot, where I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm so excited for this day, like, and I'll plan everything out, and then, you know, things don't always go the way that they're planned. So you know, there could be traffic somewhere and it'll delay your time and whatnot. So was there ever a time where you had high expectations for an event, a vacation, or a day, and how did it turn out? So let's see. I'm trying to think of one. There was a year when I went to Rome, and I was super excited for, you know, that whole vacation, because it was one of the first times that I've ever gone out of the country. So I was really, really excited. And Rome has a ton of monumental places like the Colosseum and the Trevi Fountain and things like that. So I was super excited. And, you know, when we got there, it was so hot. And everywhere is pretty much walking distance. Like there wasn't too many car rides that we took. So by the time that we would reach a destination, I'd be so tired and so like uninterested because of how hot it was, that it wasn't as exciting as I had hoped. But, you know, in those moments, you have to make the best of it, you know. So the next day when I had to prepare to go to like the Colosseum, I made sure to stay prepared, bringing water with me, you know, making sure that I'm keeping myself cool and safe and hydrated. And that way I was able to enjoy it more. So, and, you know, making sure that you eat before you leave and things like that, so that you're not so that I wasn't grumpy or tired or hungry or thirsty. So yeah, I think that, but at the end, like For the most part, I had a great time. I saw some amazing things. There's so much history in Rome, so it was super cool. And I was with my amazing family and friends, so it turned out to be a lot of fun. But in the beginning, it was not what I had intended it to be. So, yeah. So, was there ever a time where that happened to you, where you were super excited for something and it just didn't turn out the way that you had hoped or expected? And if there was one of those moments, or if you guys ever had one of those moments, what did you do to make up for that time? What did you do to, turn that situation into a positive? Kind of like Peter, where it didn't go as planned, and although it didn't go as planned, there was a happy ending where his grandma was happy and had an impromptu marriage with Buzzy Sr. So I want to know what were some of those moments with you guys. All right, I think that's all the questions that I have. Again, if you're watching this from Miss Connie, um, you know, respond to these discussion questions. I want to know. Maybe I'll write them down in the description bar down below so that you guys can kind of just copy and paste, type up your answers, and send it to Miss Connie, just so I know if you guys are actually coming on here and watching and tuning in and listening. And if you guys have any book recommendations too, that would be great. Just respond to the email that Miss Connie would be sending out to your parents, and that way she can forward them to me. All right. I hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, being productive, coming up with some healthy routines in the morning and throughout the day. And I miss you guys so much. I'll be doing some activities next week, so tune in for that. And I'll see you guys